With his outrageously loud Hawaiian shirts, trademark tash, and shorts so tight they should be illegal, he was an icon of the 1980s. That's right, today we're going to look at the life, campaigns, and most importantly, the medals of Honolulu's super sleuth himself, Thomas Magnum. Before we dive in, just to confirm, I'm talking about the one and only original series of Magnum PI, not the lackluster recent version.
Rubbing shoulders with Miami Vice, the A-Team, Cheers and Dallas, Magnum PI was an 80s institution. On air between 1980 and 1988, Magnum PI consistently ranked in the top 20 US television program ratings during the first 5 years of its original run.
A Navy veteran, Magnum had a cushy job as a security consultant working for the mysterious and eccentric author Robin Masters. Masters allowed Magnum to live on his estate, which he barely visited, as well as use his Ferrari.
The show is set in the tropical paradise of Oahu. Working on cases as a private investigator as he saw fit to supplement his income, Magnum spent much of his time lounging around his mate Rick's private beach club front, working up a never-ending bar tab, roping in his other buddy TC's helicopter services in his various jobs, or antagonising Robin Masters' estate manager, or major domo, Jonathon Higgins. Unlike the laid-back Magnum, Higgins is a stiff, upper-lipped, English dapper former British Army Sergeant Major and MI6 operative. Constantly irritated by Magnum's violations of estate rules and seemingly effortless ability to charm the ladies, the pair frequently argue. Higgins has 2 Doberman dogs called Zeus and Apollo, whom he refers to as the lads.
Higgins, like all us Brits, has a special relationship with his canine companions. This allows him to train up his dogs to such a high level that they can be relied on to protect Robin Masters' estate from intruders. This unique ability to train our 4-legged friends is inherent to all British, and we can get our dogs to do practically anything and perfect it. What's that? An intruder?
Quick! Danger close! Defend the home!
Maybe not.
Looking at his Navy uniform, Magnum's ribbons include 3 service or campaign medals, a Purple Heart, and 2 gallantry awards or citations. In addition, he also has special warfare insignia, known as the Sealed Trident. Let's start with his special warfare insignia. Although strictly not a medal, perhaps other than one other medal we will get into, I would imagine his Sealed Trident badge would be Magnum's most valued award. The special warfare insignia consists of an eagle clutching a US Navy anchor, trident and flintlock-style pistol. This gold badge is considered a successor to the obsolete underwater demolition insignia and is also nicknamed the Budweiser. Interesting factoid, in 2015 Budweiser became the first major American beer brand to actually invest in a brewery in the UK. Established in 1970, the seal insignia is one of the very few breast insignias issued identically in gold in the US Navy for both officers and enlisted personnel. This is partly due to the combined training both officers and enlisted men receive side by side when involved in Bud's selection training.
Frustratingly, there is no continuity of order in the Magnum episodes about his career. So it appears Magnum, after graduation, went into the regular Navy, then potentially deployed to Vietnam as an IO or intelligence officer, then applied after his tour ended for the SEALs, earned his trident, and then redeployed to Vietnam as a SEAL.
Magnum was also taken prisoner in Vietnam, but does not display a POW medal. However, that can be explained by the fact that this medal wasn't authorised until towards the end of 1985, so perhaps Magnum never applied for it. SEAL teams were organised at the suggestion of John F. Kennedy, who understood that it would take special operations to win a guerrilla war. Shrouded in secrecy for many years, their task in Vietnam was to disrupt enemy supply lines, conduct hit-and-run operations, choke communications, and gather intelligence. This would later be refined in special operations to a process known as F3EAD: find, fix, finish, exploit, analyse and disseminate. Working in small mobile teams, Navy SEALs operated in various regions in Vietnam, but primarily focused on the Mekong Delta. They would work closely with units such as Task Force 116, the River Patrol Force, in areas such as the Rang Sat Special Zone.
As an aside, I do believe John Kerry, former US Secretary of State, served on swift boats in Vietnam and was awarded the Bronze and Silver Star, but I'll have to look into that more, perhaps one for a future video.
Originally, Navy SEALs were volunteers from the Navy's UDT teams. Shortly after being established in January 1962, elements from SEAL Team 1 were sent to Vietnam to take initial surveys and to make preparations for training indigenous South Vietnamese in the TTPs, or Tactics, Techniques and Procedures, of maritime commandos. The SEALs operated officially in Vietnam from 1964 until 1973.
Specialists in operating during the nighttime hours, the SEALs became known as the Men with Green Faces due to the camouflage they wore. The Viet Cong so feared the SEALs that they actually put bounties on their heads. These were the kind of chaps you didn't want to meet down a dark alley at night if you were a Viet Cong.
By mid-1968, the SEAL teams were fielding 12-man platoons, each comprising 2 squads of 6 men each. Most missions were squad-sized operations. Generally, 4 or 5 platoons at any given time were deployed to South Vietnam. Generally, a tour for a SEAL lasted about 6 months at a time. Many men made several tours. The last SEAL platoon departed in December 1972, and the last advisors officially pulled out in March 1973. Over the course of the entire conflict, 3 Navy SEALs became recipients of the Medal of Honor.
Magnum graduated from the US Naval Academy in either 1967 or 1968, depending on the episode referenced. He also allegedly captained the Annapolis Naval Team. It's likely that he joined the SEALs and was deployed to Vietnam sometime around 1969 or the early 70s.
During his time in Vietnam, he served at least 2 tours of duty, both with the SEALs and Naval Intelligence. Magnum's 2 mates or buddies from Vietnam in the series were Rick and TC, who were part of the VMO-2, Marine Observation Squadron 2, which, during the Vietnam War, flew missions in support of counterinsurgency operations, a SEAL specialty. TC was a pilot and Rick a door gunner, so it's not unreasonable to believe that Marines from VMO-2 would have fought alongside SEALs, perhaps providing support such as mission insertion and extraction, and that's how they all met. Medal number 1, the Navy Cross. Second only to a Medal of Honor, this medal is awarded for any person serving with the Naval Service of the United States who distinguishes himself or herself by extraordinary heroism in connection with a military operation against an armed enemy. In the shape of a cross, the obverse features a caravel sailing ship. The medal is backed by laurel leaves. The reverse features 2 crossed anchors in the centre. The ribbon is dark blue and is bisected by a thin vertical white stripe. We've covered this medal before in our video on Navy combat cook Casey Ryback. Medal number 2, the Purple Heart. Made of brass alloy, the Purple Heart is a military decoration awarded in the name of the US President to those wounded or killed while serving. The obverse is a profile of George Washington with Washington's coat of arms above. The reverse is a raised bronze heart and is written for military merit. The ribbon is purple, flanked by 2 thin white stripes.
Throughout the series, very much like those steely-eyed submariners that we've covered in previous videos, Magnum seemingly was always surrounded by a bevy of beautiful women. To prepare for his dates, Magnum liked to sneak out fine wines from Robin Master's wine cellar when he believed Higgins wasn't looking.
Medal number 3, this is an old friend of the channel, the National Defence Service Medal. This medal is awarded to any member of the US Armed Forces who served during any designated periods of national emergency or armed conflict from the Korean War, Vietnam, Gulf War, and up until the Global War on Terror from 2001. Its issuance was ended in December 2022. Made of bronze, the obverse shows a bald eagle perched on a sword and palm with the words National Defence above. The reverse shows a shield of the US coat of arms as well as oak and laurel leaves. The ribbon has a yellow centre stripe flanked by narrow stripes of red, white, blue, white and red. Medal number 4, the Vietnam Service Medal. The obverse shows a figure of a dragon behind a grove of bamboo trees above the inscription Republic of Vietnam Service. On the reverse, a crossbow representing the ancient weapon of Vietnam faces upwards with a ready-to-be-fired lighted torch of the Statue of Liberty above an arched inscription United States of America. The ribbon is yellow with 3 red stripes and 2 green stripes on the edges. Personally, I like the design of this medal, and it's one of my favourite US service or campaign medals. On the ribbon, Magnum also has 2 bronze service stars, which suggest participation in 2 campaigns or periods of service during the Vietnam conflict.
I used to watch Magnum religiously back in the early 2000s when I was a student, and it was on daytime TV on either Channel 4 or Channel 5 in the UK. After watching all those episodes, however, I still couldn't decide whether Higgins was Robin Masters. What do you think?
Medal number 5, the Vietnam Gallantry Cross with palm ribbon. The obverse consists of a cross with 2 cross swords between the arms. The cross is superimposed over a wreath. The centre of the cross contains a disc with the outline of the country of Vietnam between 2 palm branches joined at the bottom. The scroll is on the top of the map and is written Reward of the State in Vietnamese. This was issued by the Vietnamese government in the south, not the US military. The ribbon is Old Glory red and golden yellow. The central golden yellow stripe is interspersed with 16 strands of red. This was issued as a citation as well as a medal. Becoming disillusioned, Magnum left the military in 1979 after around just over a decade's worth of service.
Interestingly, Magnum was recognised as one of the first TV shows of that era to give a positive portrayal of Vietnam veterans.
Medal number 6, the Vietnam Campaign Medal. Again, this was issued by the South Vietnamese government. Created in 1949, it was awarded to US and Allied service members for support of operations in Vietnam. Laws permitted US military personnel to accept the medal for service performed in Vietnam from the 1st of March 1961 until 28th of March 1973 inclusive. The medal is gold-coloured metal in the shape of a 6-pointed white enamelled star with 6-pointed gold rays between the arms of the star. In the centre of the star is a green-coloured disc bearing the gold-coloured map of Vietnam with 3 painted flames in red between North and South Vietnam, signifying the 3 regions of Vietnam. The ribbon medal is green with 3 vertical white stripes. In conclusion for Magnum, we have a Navy Cross, a Purple Heart, Defence Service Medal, Vietnam Service Medal, Vietnam Gallantry Cross, and Vietnam Campaign Medal, in addition to his Special Warfare insignia. Whilst researching this video, I came across the National Navy SEAL Museum website. The museum itself is based in Fort Pierce, Florida. If you're in sunny Florida and not in rainy, dreary Britain like me, it's likely well worth a visit. It looks really interesting, and it's always worth supporting these institutions.
Finally, never underestimate the power of charm, a good tan, a bushy moustache, coupled with a pair of budgie smuggler shorts. Thanks for watching. I hope you found some value from this, and I'll see you in the next one.